The locker room door slammed shut behind Alex as Coach Harlan's words echoed in his mind like a gunshot. "You're off the team, son. We can't have distractions like that." His twin brother Ben stood there, arms crossed, eyes avoiding Alex's gaze, the betrayal hanging thick in the air like smoke from a fire they both started. Alex's heart pounded, not from the practice he'd just been yanked from, but from the raw fury bubbling inside. How could Ben, his mirror image, the one person who knew every secret, sell him out like this? Alex stormed out into the crisp autumn air of the high school parking lot in suburban Ohio, his cleats clicking against the asphalt, each step a reminder of the life he'd built on that field. Football had been his escape, his identity, the one place where he felt invincible. But now, at 18, with college scouts circling, it was all crumbling because Ben couldn't keep his mouth shut. Why? The question gnawed at him. Was it jealousy? Ben had always been the second-string quarterback, living in Alex's shadow as the star player. Or was it something darker, like the homophobia their father preached at dinner tables, masked as traditional values? By the time Alex got home, the anger had twisted into a knot of self-doubt. He slammed his bedroom door, collapsing onto the bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning endlessly. What if Ben was right? What if being gay really was a distraction? He'd hidden it for years, burying the feelings that stirred when he looked at Jake, the wide receiver with the easy smile and kind eyes. Jake, who made practices bearable, who shared late-night texts about dreams beyond the gridiron. But now, exposed, Alex felt naked, vulnerable. His mind raced. Should he confront Ben? Deny it all? Or worse, accept it and fight back? The silence in the room pressed down, amplifying the voices in his head. His father's disapproval, the team's whispers, society's judgment. He couldn't breathe under the weight. Dinner that night was a battlefield. Their parents, oblivious at first, chatted about work. Dad in construction, Mom teaching elementary school. Ben sat across from Alex, picking at his food, guilt etched in his furrowed brow. Alex couldn't hold it in. "Why'd you do it, Ben? Tell Coach I'm gay." The words exploded out, shattering the mundane conversation. Mom's fork clattered to the plate. Dad's face hardened, veins bulging in his neck. "What the hell are you talking about?" Dad demanded, his voice low and dangerous. Ben shifted uncomfortably, mumbling. It slipped out. "Coach was asking why you were distracted lately. I don't know. Maybe it'd help you focus." Liar, Alex thought, his fists clenching under the table. It wasn't an accident. Ben had always resented how Alex balanced everything effortlessly. Grades, sports, even the secret crushes. But outing him? That was a knife in the back. Mom reached out, her hand trembling. "Alex, is this true?" Her eyes pleaded for denial, for the family image to remain intact. Alex's throat tightened. Lie or own it. The decision hung like a noose. "Yeah, it's true," he said, voice steady despite the storm inside. Dad slammed his hand on the table. "No son of mine is going to be that. You fix this or you're out." The ultimatum hit like a tackle, leaving Alex breathless. Ben looked away, shame flickering, but no apology came. That night, alone in his room, Alex's thoughts spiraled. Was family blood thicker than betrayal? Could he forgive Ben? Or was this the fracture that would break them forever? Sleep evaded him, replaced by visions of the field he'd lost, and Jake's face, wondering if he'd ever understand. The next day at school, whispers followed Alex like shadows. Teammates avoided him in the halls, their eyes darting away. Jake caught up to him by the lockers, his expression a mix of concern and confusion. "Hey man, heard about the team. That true what Ben said?" Alex's heart skipped. Jake knew now. The secret he'd guarded so fiercely was public. "Yeah," Alex admitted, bracing for rejection. But Jake's hand on his shoulder was warm, steady. "Sucks, dude. Coach is an ass. You didn't deserve that." A spark of hope ignited in Alex's chest, but doubt whispered. Was this pity, or something more? As classes dragged on, Alex's mind wrestled with the fallout. The principal called him in, spouting policies on inclusivity, but it felt hollow, words without action. Back home, tension simmered. Dad barely spoke. Mom hovered with worried glances. Ben tried to apologize in the hallway, whispering, "I didn't mean for it to blow up like this." But Alex shoved past him, the hurt too fresh. Inside, he questioned everything. Had he been too obvious? Too trusting? The internal conflict raged. Hide who he was to reclaim his spot or stand tall and risk losing more. By evening, Alex found himself at the local park, throwing a football alone. Each pass a release of pent-up rage. Jake showed up unexpectedly, ball in hand. "Thought you might need this," he said, tossing it over. They played in silence at first, the rhythm familiar, comforting. Then Jake broke it. "You know, I've been thinking about us." Alex froze, ball in midair. What did that mean? Hope and fear collided in his gut. As the sun set, their conversation turned personal, Jake admitting his own confusions. For the first time, Alex felt seen, not judged. But the joy was bittersweet. Gaining this connection meant facing the void left by his family and team. Was it worth it? The question haunted him as he walked home, the night air heavy with uncertainty. Alex woke to the sound of arguing downstairs, his parents' voices clashing like thunder. Dad's booming accusations, "You raised him soft," and Mom's tearful defenses pierced the morning haze. He lay there, paralyzed, the weight of yesterday's revelations pressing harder. Why fight for a family that saw him as broken? The thought twisted like a thorn in his side, fueling a resolve he hadn't known he possessed. Today, he'd confront Coach Harlan, demand answers, but doubt crept in. What if it backfired? Sealing his isolation? At school, the isolation hit full force. Lockers slammed louder, stares lingered longer. In the cafeteria, his usual table was empty. Teammates had scattered, loyalty fractured by rumor. Ben approached hesitantly, tray in hand. "Can we talk?" he asked, voice cracking. Alex's anger flared. "Talk? You destroyed my life." Ben's eyes welled up. "I was scared, okay? Dad's always on me about being tough, and I saw you with Jake. I panicked." The confession stung. Ben's fear had weaponized Alex's truth. Inside, Alex battled sympathy and rage. Forgive the twin who'd shared his womb, or cut ties to protect himself? Jake pulled him aside after lunch, his presence a balm amid the chaos. "Heard some guys talking crap. Want me to set them straight?" Alex shook his head, but gratitude swelled. Their eyes met, a silent understanding passing. Jake wasn't running. "Thanks," Alex murmured, his heart aching with unspoken longing. But the moment shattered when a group of players walked by, muttering slurs. Alex's fists clenched. He wanted to fight, to scream, but held back, fearing escalation. Internally, the turmoil boiled. Was silence complicity or survival? The confrontation with Coach came after school. In the dim office, Harlan leaned back, unfazed. "Look, kid, team's gotta stay focused. No politics." Alex's voice trembled with fury. "It's not politics. It's who I am." Harlan shrugged. "Doesn't fit the image. Parents complain. Scouts back off." The dismissal ignited Alex's defiance. "So you're discriminating?" Harlan's eyes narrowed. "Call it what you want. Decision's final." Walking out, Alex felt defeated yet empowered. The rejection fueled a fire. But alone in the car, tears came. Why did authenticity cost so much? Home was a minefield. Dad cornered him in the garage. "Fix this mess. Apologize to Coach. Say it was a joke." Alex stood tall. "It's not a joke, Dad. I'm gay." The word hung electric. Dad's face contorted. "Not in my house." Mom intervened, pleading, "Give him time." But time felt like a luxury Alex couldn't afford. Ben watched from the doorway, silent complicity adding to the wound. That night, Alex's thoughts raced. Betray himself to keep peace, or risk homelessness? The moral quandary tore at him. Family loyalty versus self-truth. Jake texted later, inviting him over. At Jake's house, away from judgment, they talked openly. Jake shared his own struggles, questioning his sexuality, fearing backlash. Seeing you stand up, it's brave. Their hands brushed, a spark igniting. Alex's heart soared, but guilt shadowed. Was pursuing this selfish amid the family rift? As they parted, Jake's hug lingered, promising more. Back home, Alex avoided everyone, retreating to his room. The high from Jake clashed with the low from home, creating a whirlwind of emotions. The next day brought escalation. A petition circulated online, students demanding Alex's reinstatement, sparked by an anonymous post. Alex suspected Jake, but Ben confessed, "I started it." To make up. Surprise mixed with suspicion. Was this genuine remorse? Signatures grew, but so did backlash. Dad found out, exploding, "You're tearing this family apart." Alex retorted, "No, your hate is." The words escaped, irreversible. Mom cried. Ben looked crushed. Internally, Alex questioned, had he gone too far? The push for justice felt right, but the personal toll mounted. Evenings blurred into therapy-like sessions in his mind. He journaled furiously. Why did society demand conformity? Why couldn't love be simple? Jake became his anchor, their secret meetings in the park deepening. One night, Jake admitted, "I think I'm falling for you." Joy flooded Alex, but fear followed. What if this ended in more pain? The relationship blossomed in whispers, each moment a rebellion against the world. Yet shadows loomed. Teammates harassed him online, anonymous threats piling up. Alex's resolve wavered. Fight or flee. Ben tried bridging, sharing childhood memories, but trust was fractured. "I was wrong," Ben said tearfully. Alex wanted to believe, but the scar ran deep. As the petition gained traction, media picked up, local news hinting at discrimination. Alex's story went viral, amplifying voices but exposing vulnerabilities. Inside he wrestled, hero or victim. The pressure built, emotions intensifying with each passing day. The viral storm hit like a hurricane, twisting Alex's life into public spectacle. Reporters camped outside school, microphones thrusting forward. How does it feel to be outed? Each question reopened wounds, forcing Alex to relive the betrayal. Inside, rage simmered. Ben's slip had unleashed this chaos. Why hadn't he anticipated the fallout? Self-blame mingled with resentment, a toxic brew eroding his sanity. Jake stood by him, a steadfast ally, but cracks appeared. During a heated call, Jake confessed, "This attention, the scary. My parents might freak." Alex's heart sank. Was Jake pulling away? The fear of loss gnawed deeper than before, amplifying internal doubts. Was their bond strong enough to weather this? Or was it another casualty of his truth? Family dinners devolved into silent standoffs. Dad scrolled news articles, muttering disgust. "You're embarrassing us." Mom mediated futilely, her eyes hollow from exhaustion. Ben attempted reconciliation, cornering Alex. "I talked to Coach, tried to take it back." But Alex snapped, "Too late. You chose sides." Ben's tears fell, genuine remorse evident. Yet Alex's forgiveness felt impossible. The moral dilemma tortured him. Hold on to grudge for justice, or release it for healing. The choice felt like walking a tightrope over abyss. School became a war zone. Supporters wore rainbow pins, but opponents vandalized his locker with slurs. Principal intervened with assemblies on tolerance, but it rang empty, policies without heart. Alex spoke at one, voice shaking. "Being gay isn't a choice, but hating is." Applause mixed with boos, polarizing the crowd. Inside, triumph battled terror. Had he inspired change or invited more hate? Jake's hesitation escalated during a park meet. "Maybe we slow down," he suggested, eyes averted. Alex's world tilted. "Because of me?" Pain laced his words. Jake admitted, "The spotlight. I wasn't ready." The confession felt like betrayal anew, echoing Ben's. Alex stormed off, thoughts chaotic. Love required sacrifice, but how much? Alone that night, he cried, questioning if vulnerability was worth the heartbreak. The turning point came with a team meeting leak, players debating his return. Some defended, Alex was our best. Others opposed, he's a distraction. Hearing it crushed Alex, but ignited fury. He crashed the meeting, confronting them. I'm not the problem, you are. Chaos ensued, arguments flying. Coach ejected him, but seeds of doubt planted. Internally, Alex debated, push harder, risk violence, or retreat. Ben's involvement deepened the rift. He admitted to Dad, I outed him because I was jealous and scared of my own feelings. The revelation stunned everyone. Dad exploded. What the hell does that mean? Ben, trembling, I might be like him. The family imploded. Mom sobbed, Dad stormed out. Alex felt vindicated yet horrified. Ben's pain mirrored his own. Was this karma or shared tragedy? The empathy clashed with anger, tearing him apart. Media frenzy peaked with an interview offer. Alex accepted, pouring out his story. Betrayal, loss, resilience. Viewers sympathized, donations poured for legal aid. But backlash intensified. Threats online, protests at school. Jake distanced further, texts sparse. Alex's heart shattered. Don't abandon me now. Jake's reply, I need time. The rejection amplified isolation, emotions rawer than ever. In solitude, Alex reflected. Society's chains bound tighter than imagined. Why must identity provoke war? He sought counsel from a guidance teacher, unpacking layers of hurt. Forgive yourself first, she advised. But self-forgiveness eluded him amid the storm. Ben confronted Dad alone. If you reject Alex, you reject me. Dad's silence spoke volumes. The standoff culminated in Dad's ultimatum. Shape up, both of you. Alex overheard, fury boiling. He packed a bag, ready to leave. Mom begged, don't go. Torn, Alex stayed. For her, but resentment festered. Jake's full withdrawal came via text. Can't do this. Devastation hit like a wave, drowning Alex in grief. Why did love demand such sacrifice? The loss compounded family fractures, pushing emotions to brink. As legal pressure mounted, lawsuit against school brewing, Alex stood at crossroads. Fight alone, or seek unlikely alliances? Ben offered, let's do this together. Skeptical, Alex agreed tentatively. The bond, frayed, began mending amid shared pain. But doubts lingered. Trust rebuilt, or facade? The intensity built, each decision a gamble with higher stakes. Emotions surged, raw and unrelenting, as the battle for identity raged on. The lawsuit filing sent shockwaves through the community. Alex's name plastered on headlines. Teen sues school over gay discrimination. Pride swelled, but terror gripped tighter. Exposure invited danger. Strangers' messaged support mingled with hate, each word a dagger to his psyche. Why persist when peace tempted? The internal war raged fiercer. Surrender to normalcy, or endure for principle? The cost mounted. Sleep fractured by nightmares of abandonment. Jake's ghosting deepened the void. Alex scrolled old texts, heart aching for what was lost. Was it real? He whispered to empty room. The betrayal stung sharper than Ben's. Jake knew the pain, yet chose self-preservation. Empathy warred with bitterness. Understand his fear, or condemn the cowardice? Nights blurred into tear-soaked reflections, questioning love's fragility. Family fractures widened. Dad moved to the guest room, silence his weapon. Mom shuttled between, exhausted. Ben hovered, atonement in actions, cooking meals, defending Alex online. I'm sorry, he repeated, voice breaking. Alex's walls cracked slightly. Prove it. Ben shared his own turmoil. I've hidden too, crushing on a guy in class. The vulnerability bonded them, but trust rebuilt slowly. Inside, Alex pondered. Blood ties mendable, or forever scarred? School protests escalated. Supporters clashed with opponents outside gates. Alex watched from window, pulse racing. A rock thrown, shattering glass, symbolized the violence brewing. Principal suspended harassers but damage done. Alex's speech at a rally, hate won't win. Cheers erupted, but a counter-protester yelled slurs. The confrontation shook him. Stand firm or flee the fire. Legal battles intensified, depositions dredging painful memories. Reliving the outing, Alex choked up. My twin betrayed me. Lawyers probed. Why not deny? Alex's resolve. Because it's truth. But doubt whispered. Lie for ease? The ethical quagmire deepened, emotions churning like storm seas. Jake reappeared unexpectedly at the rally's end. I was wrong, he said, eyes pleading. Alex's heart flipped, hope flickered. You hurt me. Jake nodded. Fear won. But I miss you. Reconciliation tempted, but scars ached. Need time, Alex replied, mirroring Jake's earlier words. The irony bit deep. Forgive or protect his heart. The decision loomed, heavy with consequence. Dad's breakdown came midnight, knocking on Alex's door. Can't lose you boys. Tears in his eyes, a rarity. Grew up thinking, certain way, hard to change. Alex's anger softened. Try. The tentative bridge formed, but skepticism lingered. Genuine shift or fear of loss? Mom's relief palpable, but Alex's inner voice cautioned. Change takes time, pain. As trial loomed, evidence mounted, coaches' emails revealing bias. Victory seemed possible, but personal toll soared. Anxiety attacks gripped Alex, breath short, mind racing. Worth it? Ben supported. We're in this. Their twin bond, once shattered, strengthened in adversity. Jake persisted, small gestures rebuilding trust. A park walk. I love you. The words electrified, but Alex hesitated. Prove it. Jake outed himself to friends, facing backlash. Admiration surged, but fear remained. Sustainable? Emotions peaked, raw vulnerability exposed. Community divided, church sermons condemned, while youth groups rallied. Alex felt the weight, symbol or human. The pressure crushed, leading to a meltdown. Alone, he screamed into pillow, Why me? Catharsis amid despair. Dad attended a PFLAG meeting. Returning changed. I was wrong. Apology followed, halting but sincere. Alex hugged him, tears flowing. Healing began, but wounds throbbed. Ben confessed fully. Outing you was my self-hate. Understanding dawned. Forgiveness budding. Jake's commitment solidified with public support at court. Hand in hand, they faced flashes. Joy pierced sorrow, but Alex wondered. Happiness earned, or illusion? As verdict neared, tensions maxed. Emotions overflowed. Love, hate, hope, despair colliding in a maelstrom. The fight for self exacted its price, leaving Alex transformed, yet questioning every step. The courtroom hushed as the judge ruled. Discrimination proven. Reinstate the plaintiff. Cheers erupted from supporters, but Alex felt hollow victory. Justice tasted bittersweet amid ruins. Coach fired, policies reformed, yet personal scars remained. Had the battle been worth the bloodshed? The question echoed louder, emotions at fever pitch. Media swarmed post-verdict, questions probing. Regrets? Alex replied steadily. None for being me. But inside, regrets swirled. Lost friendships, fractured trust. Jake squeezed his hand. We did it. Their relationship, reforged in fire, felt solid, yet fragile. Love's price, constant vigilance against judgment. Homecoming was tentative. Dad cooked dinner, awkward normalcy. Proud of you, he muttered. Mom boomed. Ben grinned. Family mended, but undercurrents lingered. Old prejudices simmered. Alex's mind raced. Sustainable peace or temporary truce? Forgiveness granted, but vigilance required. School reinstated him triumphantly. Teammates apologized, some sincere, others performative. New coach welcomed. Talent matters, not labels. Alex suited up, heart pounding. Not from nerves, but catharsis. The field, Once lost, now reclaimed. But doubts whispered, belong here still? The big game arrived, state championships, stakes sky high. Alex quarterbacked, Ben beside as receiver. Pre-game tension thick. Dad in stands, rainbow pin gleaming, a symbol of change. Jake cheered from sidelines, love evident. Kickoff unleashed fury. Opponents targeted Alex, slurs flying. Each hit fueled determination. Down by 10 at half, locker room fraught. Alex rallied. This is for us, all of us. Teammates nodded, unity forged. Second half turned epic. Alex's passes laser sharp, Ben catching miracles. Tie score, final play, Hail Mary to Ben. Ball soared, caught, touchdown. Victory roar deafened. Alex hoisted trophy, tears streaming. Biggest win, not just game but life. Post-game, euphoria mixed with reflection. Jake embraced, my hero. Dad hugged tightly, my son. Ben whispered, brothers forever. Healing palpable, yet Alex pondered costs. Pain endured, lessons learned. As confetti fell, Alex addressed crowd. Love wins, but at what price? Emotions overwhelmed. Joy, sorrow, growth intertwined. In quiet aftermath, Alex journaled. Society evolves, but individuals pay dearly. Was outing catalyst for change, or needless cruelty? The moral ambiguity lingered. Was Ben's betrayal ultimately a necessary evil that led to greater good, or an unforgivable act that no victory could justify?